Pyjamas, would you wear them going out and about when you go shopping? Well, a shocked shopper has apparently come under fire on social media for complaining that two women were in their PJs whilst they were browsing groceries in Tesco. Chris Cook said it was disgusting, but many online gave him a dressing down on dressing gowns. And yet we've heard from Tesco's, haven't we, in the papers today, saying they're going to allow store managers the freedom to throw people out if they turn up in their nightwear. So that's the topic of today's debate. Can you go shopping in your night gear? I don't know if it's about turning up in a nightie, but, you know, with your dressing gown on. Let's talk to the man who's dubbed Britain's youngest manners expert, William Hanson, and comedian... comedian Kate Smurthwaite, who's dressed the part. Morning to you both. William, you don't strike me as someone who would go out in your Winceyette pyjamas.
No, well, mainly due to the fact that I don't own Winceyette pyjamas, but I would, even if I did, I would not ever leave the house unless I was taken to hospital in the middle of the night, leave the threshold of my house in pyjamas, and I think it smacks of the lazy and slovenly attitude that many have, including perhaps Miss Smurthwaite in her pyjamas this morning at 20 to 10, which is pretty outrageous.
Outrageous, Kate. Outrageous. Mind you, if you look clean.
Well, the thing is, this is just old-fashioned snobbery, isn't it? We don't know anything about these people's lives, you know. We have no idea if they have the sort of free time that William clearly has to dress formally for anything from a bacon butty to a quick trip out to buy toothpaste. People might be ill and they might be just feeling unwell and have no one to look after them. They've gone out to buy some medicine. They've woken up late. They don't want the kids to be late for school. They rush in on the way home. They think, if I don't get milk now, there won't be any in the morning. I just think that snooping around supermarkets, taking photos of people without their permission is weird and creepy. And I also think that if you've left the house and your genitals aren't visible and there is nothing racist, sexist or homophobic written visibly or printed visibly on your clothing, great, you've won.
I'll tell you what,
done.
Kate,
The rest is extra.
It's a very charitable view to say, well, people may be, rushing about, they haven't got the time, or they're in desperate need of a pint of milk or whatever. Let's be honest, most people just can't be bothered to get dressed.
Well, I don't know. I haven't asked these people, and I don't sit around and make judgments about others, unlike Mr. Hanson here. The bottom line is that it's none of my business. I'm not inconveniencing anybody else. I've been wandering around in my pyjamas all morning, and it's going very well. People have smiled, people have laughed a little bit, and then I've gotten on with my day. I'm not upsetting anyone. I'm not, what is the problem? I don't need to wear a ball gown to do a simple little task, like going to the supermarket or popping on your show for a chat.
Do we need to be a bit more relaxed then, William?
No, we don't need to be more relaxed. I think it's ridiculous that Kate suggests that to dress formally, as it were, and I'm not dressed formally, I'm just in a simple roll neck, would require free time, that people have to have free time to dress formally. No, it requires effort, which, yes, I appreciate absolutely nobody wants to put in to life these days because they've decided that they are the most important thing on earth, and so why should they put in a little bit of effort? But no, I mean, thank goodness that Tesco have come out and said that they are going to give their managers the free rein to throw people out of their shops if they do turn up wearing sleepwear. You're not going to sleep in Tesco. It's not hygienic to wear things that you wear to bed outside of the house, yet alone...
Hold on a minute. What do you do when you're asleep, William, that makes your pyjamas unhygienic to wear to Tesco's? That's terrifying. We don't need to know about that at breakfast. The point is that this is just old-fashioned snobbery, isn't it? And the thing is, in these sort of, hallowed halls, when I was a student at Oxford, there were all sorts of posh young men who went wandering off to the kebab van late at night in their dressing gown, and everybody thought they were a frightfully British, throwback to Brideshead Revisited. And now, young mums, bit short of time, are caught in the supermarket in their dressing gowns, and everybody's looking down their nose at them. What this is classism, isn't it? It's just taking a snook at people who are working class. And for all you know, the women who've been photographed, for all you know, they literally can't afford a winter coat and their dressing gown is the warmest thing they own. And rather than showing some sympathy and some enthusiasm for helping, we've just got this, here's how people should dress, and it's just, if you've got time to look down your nose at other people, well, great. Use that time doing something more important, William.
It's very common.
Well, and this is exactly it. What's wrong with being common, William? This is in your world that it's not okay to be a bit common. That's an insult that glances off me, you know, so instantly that it's pointless. It's only in your world that being common or working class is a bad thing to be. That's what most people in Britain are, and you know what? That's fine. We're totally happy with it.
To be fair, Kate, that's a bit of an assumption to say that, you know, it's working class people who are necessarily doing
that's
this.
What William said. I agree.
I'm a working class northerner, Kate. I've never been out in my Jimmy Jams.
Well, I agree, and my point earlier was that, you know, when I was a student at Oxford, there were very posh guys who went out in their dressing gowns late at night. I don't think it's a class issue at all. But it's William, you know, saying that wearing your pyjamas is common. And my point is really, there's nothing wrong with being common. You know, I don't think that there's a link between pyjamas and the class system, to be honest. But if there is, so what? It doesn't matter, does it? That's not what's important about life. You know, there are real issues out there. You know, he could be out there talking about Aleppo and all the other things that are going on. And here he is, you know, looking down his nose at people who've nipped out to the supermarket for a pint of milk and haven't thought to dress as little Lord Fauntleroy on the way.
Is it fair to say, William, that standards begin at home?
They do, yes, and the hygiene issue is more what sort of germs you can pick up outside of your house to then come back in and sleep into the bed. And yes, standards do begin at home, and you have to keep up appearances literally in order, because it will reflect all over your life. If you're not putting in the effort at home, then you're probably not putting the effort in at work. And no one wants to do business with someone who doesn't apply a little bit of effort and go above and beyond.
And yet I've come to work in my pyjamas, and everybody seems quite pleased about it. In fact, everybody was highly amused.
Yeah, but you've done that. To be fair, Kate, come on, you've done it on purpose. And whereas you sort of have a go at William for sort of the snobbery in a sense, aren't you just piling that back on him in reverse?
Well, absolutely. You know, only because, may I add, he started it. You know, the fact is that we haven't really got time in the 21st century to be faffing around with appropriate dress. You know, let everybody else dress how they want. You dress how you want. I don't, you know, there are all sorts of people out there who dress in ways that I don't find particularly appealing, and in some cases I find distinctly odd and weird and awkward. But it's none of my business, is it? Are they dressed in a way that actually, you know, causes offence and is unpleasant, or, as, you know, William suggests, horrifically unhygienic, or are they just wearing what they want to wear, and is it really any of my business, you know?
So, final thought, William, live or let live, or try and talk people round?
No, try and talk people round and see sense. That extra 2 minutes to get changed into something, even put a T-shirt on, for heaven's sake. I mean, something without a collar would even do. I'll allow that. And reap the benefits.
I've got a collar. I've got a collar. I tell you what, this is as pyjamas go. This is collared. I've even got a headdress. Come on. If anything, I've overdressed, I would argue.
Well, look, good to talk to you both this morning. And Kate, I mean, I'd pay good money to see you get on the tube in that, Kate. I bet you don't. I bet you don't.
I'll see you on the Northern Line in a few minutes.
Yeah, all right then, lovely. Good to talk to both of you this morning. Thank you. Keep your